Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be solving LeetCode 27, remove element, and as you can see, this has a lot of downvotes. I've also downvoted it myself, but we're going to do it anyways. So given an array, an integer array nums, and an integer value, we want to remove all occurrences of value that occur in nums in place. And the relative order of the elements may be changed. Since it is impossible to change the length of the array in some languages, we have to do this in place in our array, and more formally, if there are k elements after removing the duplicates, then the first k elements of nums should hold the final result. So if we come down here and look at example 1, we can see that the value they want to replace is 3, and they replace them with underscores, and then they move all of those underscores to the end of the array. So that's what we're going to do. And they also return 2 as their output, and I believe that is the count of the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're going to have to keep a variable called count and keep track of how many valid numbers are currently in our list. So let's do that. We'll say count is initially going to be set to 0, and then we'll say for I in range length of nums, right? We have to do this because inside of this loop, we want to count how many valid values are in our array, as well as replace the invalid values with underscores. So we'll say if nums of I, if that is equal to our target value, we will simply replace nums of I to be an underscore. Otherwise, we will say our count is going to be incremented by 1. Now we want to move all of the underscores to the end of our array. And actually, we're going to do a latent return, and we're going to return the count, right? We have to return however many valid values there are. Again, this, if you wanted to return count, it wouldn't work, right? We could run this, right? Because we have to manipulate this array as well. So let's have 2 pointers, left and right. They will both be initially set to 0. And what we're going to do is we'll loop through our array, and as long as we are not, as long as the right pointer is not equal to an underscore, we're going to swap the elements. And we'll continuously do this until right reaches the end of our array, and this will put all of these underscores at the end of the array. So we'll say while right is less than the length of nums, we want to say if nums of right is not equal to an underscore, we will swap the elements. We'll say nums of left, comma, nums of right will now be nums of right, comma, nums of left, and then we will increment left by 1, and if we exit this if block, we will just increment our right counter. And then this should give us our answer, so let's run this. We pass both test cases, so we'll submit, and we get the correct answer. So what is the time complexity of this? The time complexity is going to be O of n, right? We're looping through every value in our number, doing a constant time operation, and then we're looping through it one more time and replacing elements, right? Swapping elements, not replacing them. And then we are returning the count of the valid elements. So our time complexity is going to be O of n, and space complexity, just like they said in the problem, O of 1 extra memory. And that'll do it for LeetCode 27.